Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Today we have another journal with me video. This is going to be for week 41, part 2. I do have part 1 in my channel, so if you haven't had a chance to watch that yet, I'll link it above here on the screen so you can check it out later. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So for today's video, we are actually going to be working with 2 different layouts. Those are going to be from last week's layout. So it's going to be from Thursday, October 8th to Friday, October 9th. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive in for this first layout here, Thursday, October 8th. This was just a busy day for me, just really work related, nothing special or interesting happened. So in those days I take advantage, if you've watched any of my journal with me videos, you guys know that usually I try to create my layouts based on what happened on that day. But if there's nothing interesting that happened that I can use it as an excuse to create a layout, then I take advantage of those days and create layouts that, you know, I like it to create with themes that I usually enjoy to create with. So vintage is one of those. So of course, any opportunity that I have, I try to create a vintage layout. So this was no different, so I just decided to go with a vintage layout. For this layout here, I decided to go with a very specific color scheme. I knew I wanted to go with a black and browns as a color scheme, and yeah, I just literally decided to just pick a color scheme and go with it, and I knew I wanted to go with vintage. So I just went in my stash and I looked for different vintage papers that had this very vintage looking, like very dark brown. That was like a very old looking. And yeah, I just picked a bunch of different ephemeras that was like with very dark black and dark browns to decorate. So the pieces of ephemera that I'm using here today, in terms of paper, I'm using 2 different vintage papers. On my far right was just a paper gifted to me by one of my pen pals. There's like this vintage leather, beautiful paper. On my left was also vintage paper gifted to me by one of you guys, and it's with some music notes. I'm using some tag here in brown on the top right, that is from Tim Holtz. I'm going to be using some other ephemeras from Tim Holtz as well, like this paper dolls. I absolutely love everything Tim Holtz related. I love everything that guy creates. It's just amazing. So of course I have to take the opportunity to use some of those items when I'm creating vintage theme layouts. So yeah, if you're curious, by the way, about anything that I'm using here, any stationery, including my glue that I'm using today, the scissors. I know I haven't talked about my new scissors yet, and I don't know if you guys have been wondering, because I know I've been using those scissors for a couple of videos now, but I will have all the links in the description below for all the items that I'm using, including my glue and my scissors. This is a relatively new glue that I've been using. I've been using for about a month and a half now. It's called Art Glitter, and it's a local company here from Cottonwood in Arizona. And I just have good things about this glue, to talk about this glue. It's just amazing. And yeah, so highly recommend that glue. So I'll have that, all the links in the description box. Anything that I can link to you guys that I'm using today, I'll link in the description box, so you guys can always check it out. I'll try my best. I know I've been pretty bad with that in the previous videos, but I will try my best moving forward to always try to link everything that I'm using as best as I can in the description box. So just keep a lookout for that moving forward. But yeah, I'm using some stickers here. So this clock stickers was gifted to me by one of you guys as well. This older kind of like I don't even know what you say. It's like a jeez, it I just can't remember the name right now, please forgive me. But it's just a piece of ephemera that has some bugs there, some, insects. It's from Tim Holtz as well. I'm using some vintage postage stamps. One is from the Netherlands and the other one's from the US. They're both from my personal stash. I'm pretty sure the one from the Netherlands were gifted to me by one of my pen pals from the Netherlands. And yeah, I'm using some washi tape here in brown that has those kind of like tickets. It's a beautiful washi tape. It was one of my pen pals that gifted to me. She sent me some washi samples, and this is one of them. I'm using some, plant sticker on the left that was also gifted to me by one of my pen pals. And if you were wondering about that wood stamp that I used right there with that vellum paper, that one I got it from Cafe Analog. That was pretty much it. The number 8 for the date was also from Tim Holtz. So a lot of Tim Holtz items for this layout here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you are wondering where the heck am I going to be writing in this layout, actually that little space between the top left and the middle, the center right down the right, it's enough. I really didn't have a lot of writing for this day, so there was plenty for me to write. Literally, I had a very small paragraph. And if you're wondering how the heck do I know how much space I need, if you're new here to this channel and you don't know how I actually work with my journal, I do have an app on my phone. I have an iPhone, so if you have Android, I'm sure Android has some version of a note app like the iPhone. And if not, I'm sure there's so many different apps that you can download that's a note app. Pretty much it's just a basic note app that you can write things on it. And I use this note app that comes with the iPhone, and every night when I'm already in bed before going to sleep, I just sit down for a few minutes and I write it down what happened in my day. The way that I use my journal, it is to record what happened in my life. Sometimes I'm just literally going to describe everything that happened in that day. Sometimes I'm just going to just draw down one sentence summarizing what happened. If it's something special or important happened, I'm gonna talk about that. Sometimes it's a very emotional day, so I'm gonna, be more sentimental or more emotional and gonna talk about my feelings. It all depends on the day, but the whole idea of me journaling daily is to have a record of my life, of what is happening. I wanted to be able to come back and be able to see what I lived through, like what happened in my life back in those days. So that's the whole purpose. That's why I try my best to create layouts that represent what happened in my day, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so it makes it easier for me to have just this app note in my phone that I can write it every night, so that way I don't have to stress out about it later to remember what happened, because I don't get to sit down every single day. I mean, I sit down often, at least 2 to 3 times a week to decorate my journal, but I don't want it to be stressing out and trying to remember what happened in a given day. So I like to be fresh and I know exactly what happened. So the day of, it's the best day for me to write it. So that's why I like to write it about the night of before I'm going to sleep. So that's what I do. If you're wondering how I keep up with my daily journal, that's what I do. Anyways, for this day here, I decided to go with a black and white theme. And the reason being is because one, I actually grabbed some food. Jeez, I can't talk. I actually grabbed some food in one of my favorite restaurants of all times in Phoenix. It's called Penny Bianco. If you've been to Phoenix before, or you are from Phoenix, you might have been to this place before. It is owned by Bianco. He has like all the restaurants there, very popular, like the Pizzeria Bianco. This is his sandwich place, so it's more simple, but I absolutely love any of his restaurants. It's just such good Italian food. If you like Italian food and if you're in Phoenix area, you have to go visit this place. So yeah, so I was actually in Phoenix for the day. The reason being is because I went to get my nails done finally, almost a year later. I haven't had my nails done in such a long time. It's just so bad. But you know, with us moving to Flagstaff and me being so far from my nail stylist, and after the whole thing with COVID, it's just never happened anymore. So I just had to really decide what I was going to do. I don't know, I just decided to stick with the girl that I always had my nails done. I absolutely love her work, and I trust her with my hands. I will say with my life, but I don't know. Maybe that's too dramatic, but definitely with my hands. I absolutely love her work, and I just missed it. I always had long nails, and yeah. So I drove all the way to Phoenix. If you don't know that about me, I actually live in Flagstaff, Arizona, so it's about 2 to 2.5 hours drive. So I drove all the way to get my nails done, and I decided to go with black because one, I love black. It's one of my favorite colors. Two, Halloween's around the corner, so I thought it would be nice to have already my nails ready for Halloween. So I decided to go with black. So that's why I decided to decorate the page with black and white, because I wanted to remind that this was the day that I finally got my nails done after a year, and plus, it matched with the sticker there of the Penny Bianco. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. If you stick this far in this video, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. Let me just bring it close so you guys can see all of the details here on the two layouts. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Again, thank you for hanging out with me. I will see you guys tomorrow for another video. Bye for now.